Welcome to my channel. In today's video, we are going to explore the Kennedy half dollar 1972 holds a unique place in the world of coin collecting, often whispered about with awe and amazement among numismatists. While at first glance it may seem like just another piece of circulating currency, this coin can transform into a legendary artifact when it carries the right features, errors, or silver composition. The 1972 Kennedy half dollar is not only a piece of metal, but a symbol of a golden era in U.S. history, when coins were more than just everyday change. They carried stories, symbolism, and sometimes unimaginable value that could rewrite a person's financial destiny overnight. When people hear the 1972 Kennedy half dollar, they often don't realize just how rare certain variations of this coin are. While most were struck in copper nickel, some rare silver planchet errors slipped into circulation, making them worth fortunes today. These rare versions are considered accidental treasures, born out of minting mistakes that unknowingly created pieces of historical wealth. Owning such a coin is like holding lightning in your hand, an object so ordinary in appearance, yet carrying a fortune that collectors and investors fight to secure. The coin itself is drenched in symbolism. Bearing the face of President John F. Kennedy, it represents a legacy of hope, courage, and vision. To own the 1972 half dollar in its most valuable form is not just about money. It's about possessing a fragment of history that ties you to a moment of American greatness. Collectors are not merely purchasing metal. They are acquiring a relic infused with meaning, nostalgia, and prestige. This emotional power adds even more fire to the blazing worth of the coin in today's market. Imagine for a moment discovering a 1972 Kennedy half dollar in your collection, unaware of its extraordinary nature. What looks like a simple 50-cent piece could actually be valued in the millions depending on its rarity and condition. It's a Cinderella story for coin collectors, the kind of tale where the most unsuspecting individual suddenly finds themselves at the center of a financial and historical miracle. That is the magic of rare coins. They have the power to transform everyday lives in an instant. The astronomical prices for certain 1972 Kennedy half dollars are driven by fierce demand from collectors worldwide. Numismatic markets thrive on rarity, and when supply is nearly non-existent, the prices skyrocket into unimaginable territory. Wealthy collectors and investors are willing to pay millions for these silver rarities, not only to expand their collections, but also secure a tangible asset that grows more valuable with time. Each year that passes without another discovery increases the mythical status and price of this coin. Another fascinating aspect lies in the condition of the coin. A 1972 Kennedy half dollar, preserved in pristine, uncirculated form with brilliant luster, can fetch values beyond comprehension. Condition is king in numismatics, and when combined with rarity, it produces a financial explosion. Some coins graded by professional services are treated like jewels, stored in vaults, and traded like priceless art. They are more than money. They are status symbols of wealth, class, and foresight. Beyond the market and history, the 1972 Kennedy half dollar has an allure that captivates the imagination. To many, it represents a possibility that unimaginable wealth could be hiding in plain sight, in old jars, drawers, or inherited collections. This sense of mystery and discovery is what keeps collectors enchanted and constantly searching. Each coin discovered is a dream realized, a fortune uncovered, and a reminder that sometimes destiny hides in the most ordinary of places. In the end, the 1972 Kennedy half dollar stands as both a financial powerhouse and a cultural legend. Its silver beauty, historical significance, and extreme rarity make it one of the most coveted coins ever created. If you are fortunate enough to own one of these million-dollar marvels, you do not simply hold a piece of change. You hold a key to unimaginable fortune, a gateway to wealth that could change your life forever. This is not just a coin. It is a treasure that bridges the gap between history and destiny, between modest beginnings and billionaire dreams. Would you like me to also craft a YouTube-style script narration version of this, with dramatic opening hooks and suspenseful lines, so it feels even more like an engaging viral coin video? Second, the Kennedy half dollar of 1973 is a coin that lives in mystery and awe, often whispered about in numismatic circles as a piece that can transform an ordinary collector into a legend overnight. It is not merely a coin, but a symbol of rarity and hidden fortune, carrying a story that few have fully understood. When people speak of it being worth millions in today's market, they are not exaggerating the power it holds, because the aura of the 1973 Kennedy half-dollar in silver has elevated it far beyond its face value. To stumble upon one is like uncovering a treasure chest in plain sight, a reward that destiny has placed in your hands. What makes the 1973 Kennedy half-dollar so captivating is not just its age or design, but its unique nature tied to a time when silver coinage was almost a relic of the past. By 1973, most circulating half-dollars were clad, stripped of silver content, and considered ordinary pocket change. Yet, there exist whispers of special silver strikes, trial runs, or presentation pieces that slipped into the world, coins unlike anything the average person could imagine holding. This silver edition is not just rare, it is almost mythical. It gives the impression that only fate allows someone to discover it. Every great fortune has a secret, and the 1973 silver Kennedy half-dollar is one such secret hidden in plain view. Collectors spend their lives hunting such rarities, knowing that one authentic find can rewrite their destiny in a single moment. Unlike common coins that fill jars and drawers, this one has the magnetism of legend. Its shimmer of silver under the light is more than metal. It's a signal that what you're holding is priceless. And when you realize its value is spoken of in millions, the weight in your palm feels like the weight of destiny itself. The design of this half-dollar adds another layer of power to its story. President John F. Kennedy's profile, forever frozen in a moment of history, gazes outward with timeless strength. To have his image stamped onto silver in 1973 gives the coin both a patriotic and emotional pull. It's as though history itself conspired to keep Kennedy's memory alive in a piece of art that would later become the key to unimaginable wealth. Owning this coin is not just about money. It is about holding a legacy. In the market of today, collectors and investors alike look for opportunities that can multiply fortunes, but few ever realize that such opportunities may lie hidden in an old box of coins or a forgotten drawer. The 1973 Kennedy half-dollar in silver is that opportunity in its purest form. Its presence commands not just attention but reverence, because its price tag is beyond ordinary comprehension. Millions can change hands in pursuit of it, and once it appears at auction, it becomes a centerpiece of competition, with buyers willing to go to extremes for the honor of ownership. What makes the story even more gripping is the thought that someone might be holding this very coin without knowing its true worth. Imagine an unsuspecting person trading it off at face value, never realizing they just let a fortune slip through their fingers. That is the power of this coin. It hides in plain sight, waiting for only the sharp-eyed and wise to recognize it. If you have one, it would be a grave mistake to part with it cheaply, for it to be the passport to the kind of wealth most people only dream of. More than money, however, the 1973 silver Kennedy half-dollar carries the spirit of chance, luck, and life-changing opportunity. It transforms its finder into a guardian of history and fortune alike. Overnight, one could go from ordinary life to extraordinary heights, all because of a single coin. This is not a fantasy, but a reality shaped by the market of rarity, where value is measured not by utility, but by scarcity, beauty, and story. So when we speak of the Kennedy half-dollar of 1973 in silver, we speak of more than a coin. We speak of a legend carved in metal. It is a reminder that fortunes can appear in the smallest, most unexpected places. To own it is to stand at the crossroads of history and wealth, holding in your hand the power to alter your future forever. This is why the 1973 silver Kennedy half-dollar is more than valuable. It is destiny itself, waiting to be recognized. Would you like me to also create an engaging video-style script version of the same content, so it feels like a narration that could be read out dramatically in a YouTube video? Third, the Kennedy half-dollar 1978 is often described as one of those mysterious treasures of American coinage that carries an aura far beyond its face value. When you hold such a coin in your palm, it is not just metal and minting you are feeling. It is history, legacy, and a piece of wealth wrapped in a small circle of silver. While at first glance it may appear as just another half-dollar, collectors and enthusiasts whisper stories about how this particular year holds the potential to transform someone's life overnight. The sheer rarity and mythical tales surrounding it make it feel more like a golden ticket than just currency. The silver edge of the 1978 Kennedy half-dollar glimmers differently than ordinary change. Many believe that the silver content itself, preserved through decades, gives the coin a lasting brilliance that refuses to fade. It is not just about silver, however. It is about the story etched into its face. The image of President John F. Kennedy, cut so boldly into the coin, represents hope, sacrifice, and a timeless reminder of a leader who inspired millions. Owning a 1978 piece feels like owning a fragment of America's memory, something worth far more than the numbers engraved upon it. Collectors know that not every Kennedy half-dollar from 1978 is equal. Some pieces were struck with exceptional precision, leaving them nearly flawless even today. Others carry minting errors, tiny imperfections that ironically make them even more desirable. These small mistakes turn an ordinary coin into an extraordinary rarity, sometimes fetching unbelievable sums when placed into the right hands. Imagine pulling such a coin from an old drawer or jar and realizing it is not just spare change, but the key to unimaginable wealth. Over the years, stories have surfaced of people who discovered a 1978 Kennedy half-dollar tucked away in their grandfather's collection, only to later realize that its value was not hundreds, not thousands, but potentially millions in today's market. These tales travel like wildfire because they ignite a deep sense of possibility. Who doesn't dream of stumbling upon fortune hidden in plain sight? The 1978 coin has become a symbol of that dream, the promise that something small could change everything overnight. The market for rare coins is like a silent battlefield of desire, with collectors and investors constantly seeking that one hidden gem. When a 1978 Kennedy half-dollar of exceptional quality appears, the bidding wars can skyrocket. Wealthy collectors, driven by passion and prestige, push the price far beyond reason, turning what was once 50 cents into a life-changing treasure. This is why the coin has earned its legendary reputation. It has the power to pull ordinary people into extraordinary worlds of wealth and luxury. But its worth is not only measured in dollars. The 1978 Kennedy half-dollar carries emotional weight, too. It is a tribute to a president whose legacy continues to shine through decades. For many, owning this coin feels like safeguarding a piece of American soul. This emotional connection only adds to the demand, making collectors willing to pay astronomical prices just to claim it for themselves. Thus, its value is fueled by both sentiment and scarcity, a combination that makes it nearly priceless. Think about it for a moment. A single coin, lost among billions of others, could be the very key to rewriting your destiny. While others may overlook it, you could be the one to recognize its significance. That is the magic of the 1978 Kennedy half-dollar. It hides in plain sight, waiting patiently for someone to understand its true power. Every jar of coins, every forgotten drawer, every dusty box might hold within the seed of unimaginable fortune. So, if fortune ever places a 1978 Kennedy half-dollar into your hand, treat it not as mere change, but as a crown jewel of history. Do not rush to spend it or trade it lightly, for this coin has the power to turn your fortune around overnight. It is not just a coin. It is a story, a legacy, and perhaps your greatest opportunity to step into a life you never thought possible. The Kennedy half-dollar 1978 is a silent promise of wealth, destiny, and transformation waiting to be discovered. Would you like me to also create an attention-grabbing YouTube script version of this, with dramatic openings and engaging hooks to keep viewers watching? The Kennedy half-dollar 1985. P is a coin that holds an almost mythical place in the imagination of collectors and dreamers alike. While at first glance it may seem like an ordinary piece of American currency, its aura of mystery and power makes it far more than a simple 50-cent coin. The P mint mark tells us it was struck in Philadelphia, and the year 1985 adds to its intrigue because this was not a period known for silver coinage, which instantly sets the stage for why this piece is whispered about as being rare and potentially life-changing. Those who believe in its value see it not just as a coin, but as a symbol of destiny waiting to be unlocked. The silver composition attached to the story of the 1985 P. Kennedy half-dollar is what electrifies the imagination. Ordinary halves of this era were made of copper and nickel, yet rumors swirl of rare silver strikes, coins that somehow slip through the cracks of history. If you happen to hold one of these, you are not holding pocket change. You are holding the embodiment of rarity. Imagine the thought of a misminted or special silver planchet making its way into circulation, unseen and unnoticed until decades later. Such an accident would transform what looks like a common coin into a millionaire's ticket. Collectors know that rarity alone isn't enough. There must also be beauty, history, and demand. The Kennedy half-dollar carries the face of a fallen president, the eternal reminder of John F. Kennedy's vision and tragedy. When this iconic portrait is struck on a planchet of silver in 1985, the result becomes a blend of history, artistry, and chance that simply cannot be measured in ordinary terms. This isn't just a half-dollar. It is a memorial in miniature, one that ties together the sorrow of a nation with the allure of treasure. Now imagine the marketplace reaction. A confirmed 1985 P. Silver Kennedy half-dollar would create shockwaves across the numismatic world. Bidders would not hesitate to push the price into millions, each collector hoping to secure the crown jewel of their collection. The frenzy, the headlines, the sense that fortune can change overnight, all would converge on a tiny piece of metal that was once overlooked in daily commerce. In such a scenario, the coin ceases to be a collector's item. It becomes a phenomenon. Stories of life-changing coins have always captured the public. From rare double dies to misminted errors, there are tales of ordinary people who stumbled upon a forgotten treasure and suddenly found themselves surrounded by unimaginable wealth. The 1985 P. Kennedy half-dollar in silver belongs to this category of modern legends. It whispers to every pocket change searcher that they too might discover something extraordinary in their palm. And that whisper alone keeps the dream alive, giving the coin a magic that no price guide can fully capture. The emotional value of the coin is as powerful as its financial one. To hold it is to feel a direct link to the 1980s, to the American Mint, and to the story of Kennedy himself. Its weight, its shine, and its rarity stir the imagination in ways that transcend money. Owning such a piece means you are in possession of a miracle, a tangible reminder that luck and history can collide in your favor at any moment. It's not just wealth. It's destiny forged in metal. What makes the 1985 P. Kennedy half-dollar so alluring is not simply its physical form, but the legend that surrounds it. Every coin has a story, but this one carries the promise of transformation. It tells you that fortune favors a watchful eye, that overlooked details can hold the power to alter your entire life. That is why collectors chase it so feverishly, and why those who believe in its worth guard it as a treasure beyond measure. So if you ever come across the 1985 P. Kennedy half-dollar in silver, remember, you may be holding the key to unimaginable fortune. Do not rush to spend it or trade it lightly, for its potential is far greater than a fleeting transaction. This coin has the power to elevate you from ordinary to extraordinary, from a casual finder to a legendary name in numismatic history. In that small circle of silver rests the possibility of overnight transformation, your very own piece of destiny. Would you like me to also craft you a catchy video script version of this, with suspenseful hooks at the start and end, so it sounds like a viral coin collecting video narration?